Today I have with me Jordan Edwards, who is the operations manager at Wadsworth Control Systems. Thank you
Hi,
for
Matt.
joining me for a little bit today, Jordan.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Uh, and we're just going to go over a couple of things that we've worked together on. I think we were introduced probably about 6, 7 months ago via Manufacturer's Edge, actually. And
Yep.
in that time period, there's been a few different things we look into for you all. We looked into your small package shipping, your telecom, your LTL, and your waste, with savings that have actually started to occur with shipping, and then a few others that we'll kind of revisit closer to the end of the contract. But really, I mean, I like to do these videos just to give people a sense of what it's like to work with Schooley, Mitchell, and myself. So I'll kind of turn it over to you and just, if you don't mind, kind of giving us your 2 cents on this, the good, the bad, and the ugly, although hopefully nothing too ugly.
Yeah. Sure, Matt. Happy to do that. And anyone watching, you'll be able to tell this is not rehearsed because you're going to hear some rambling. Um, I've been working with Matt, like you said, it's called 6 to 8 months. And I will admit that this sounded like a scam when I first heard about it. These guys are going to come in and save me money, and I have to do nothing. I thought, sure, I've heard that story before, especially on shipping, because my phone rings every single day with someone who swears they're going to get me better rates on shipping. But I went ahead and what really set things apart right off the bat was Matt's knowledge of professionalism. He did an excellent job of explaining what Schooley Mitchell is, how they work, how they do it, and didn't shy away from tough questions I asked that were, forward, like, what's in this for you? And what keeps you from, not doing what you say? And why do companies bother to negotiate with you? And what it comes down to is that they are a bigger, think of it as a uh, collective bargaining arm of your business. Matt and his team at Schooley Mitchell, and combined with all of their customers, are going to give you much bigger leverage over big companies like UPS or FedEx or telecom companies, waste management, whatever it is that you are having them look at. And I think that potential savings and what you pay them for their services is an excellent bargain.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you just being very truthful about the fact that you thought this was a scam up front. I remember that from our first conversation. So
I all
I
day, every
appreciate
day.
that.
I have better rates for you. I have better rates for you. I can do better than what you're getting. I hear it all the time. It's rarely true.
And would you, I mean, overall, I mean, obviously we still communicate pretty regularly just for, the billing side of it and just any issues that are coming about. But all told, in the very beginning, how much time would you say we spent together in order for us to get everything that we needed from you all?
I would bet Matt and I and some people on his team, maybe all in, maybe 3 hours, counting reviews and just some other back and forths, but very little from me. Just hey, here's what this is. We just need permission to go into these accounts, or if you're not comfortable with it as a business, send us these invoices, and they can work with it that way. And they were off to the races and came back with a really crystal clear offering package of here's what we have, here's what we're going to give you, here's why it saves you money. And that was the other um, thing that made me feel very comfortable with this, and in fact had recommended Matt directly and Schooley Mitchell to other business owners and business leaders that I've spoken to, was that he comes back with a absolutely clear month by month breakdown of exactly where you save money, um, you know, which category, how much, what you were paying before, what you are paying now, so that if there's skeptics in your business, which is a good trait to have, somebody, especially in accounting, saying, show me why we're paying these people this money. Um, it's it's unimpeachable. It's very clear. It's easy to explain, and Matt is happy to hop on the phone at any point with anybody in the company and say, and I'll, and he'll walk them. It hasn't happened, but I know that if my accountant or my boss wanted to deeper dive, Matt would jump on the phone and walk through it. So, um, again, it's an easy savings for a company where you don't have the resources to do such a thing yourself.
Excellent. And I mean, I know we've mainly talked about the shipping side of things. So that's where we did have savings that were taken. Can you speak just for a second, just to the too good to be true side of it? We looked at a couple other things for you, some stuff in telecom, some stuff in waste and LTL, where there either were savings or no savings. But in those cases, for I would say correct reasons, you just kind of were in a holding pattern, didn't want to sign new contracts until closer to the end of the current one. Do you mind just speaking to that a little bit, too?
Yeah, to the ones we didn't take, just to
Yeah.
sort of summarize. Yeah, so as part of the review, we told Matt here are the categories we wanted his team to look at. And as he mentioned, waste, recycling, and telecom were some of those that we didn't end up acting on. And that's something else I really appreciated, was that there was no pressure at any point to proceed. LTL is another one they looked at, but we didn't proceed. So his team went out, did their review, did their benchmarking, and came back and said, here's what we've got. And in the case of LTL, came back and said, you guys are exactly where you need to be. And great. So we've got peace of mind now that what we're doing is appropriate. We're paying what we should pay, and no recommendations made. There are things like telecom. There was about a 30% savings that Schooley Mitchell was able to find for us. However, we decided that based on new technology coming up in our area with fiber and the contract length that we would have had to sign, it just wasn't for us right now. And Matt and Schooley Mitchell says, okay, great. No pressure. Here's what we have on the table. Here's our recommendation, but it's up to you and your business to do what you guys think is right. And it was the same with waste. They found about 12% savings. We looked at it. There were some issues with our current contract. I ultimately decided it wasn't worth the fight with the company to try and get out of the contract early. It wasn't a big enough of a service issue that let's just hang tight. And I know that they're there. And when our contract comes up for renewal, I'll re-engage with Matt and his team, and I'm going to have a stronger bargaining position ready for that. So if you're not sure, if you're thinking about talking to Matt or Schooley Mitchell and you're worried about being pressured into some sort of commitment, don't. Let's look at it as a free review of some of these important spend categories for the business.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, as always, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for doing this. And if you have any parting words, feel free. If not, I will bid you adieu and just say, again, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you and your team and everything you guys do for us. And happy I can help.
Thank you, Jordan. Have a good one.